Low Vision Awareness Month on Legally Blind No Limits is brought to you by the Foundation Fighting Blindness, the driving force in the global development of treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Visit fightingblindness.org or hit the link in the video description below to learn more and support their mission.
He's like, Corey, you just ran a stop sign and almost got us.
What would you tell your younger self when you had started driving?
If I was to tell myself something,
I'm a parent. I'm a husband, and I'm blind. Want to see how I drive?
So if you're curious about how blind people drive, welcome. That moment when you realize you shouldn't be driving, or that moment when you learn that you can't drive ever again, is one of the hardest, most difficult moments you can have as somebody with vision loss, right? For me, it was the freedom, just knowing I could get in the car and go do what I wanted to do, go where I wanted to go for the most part, you know? That's why we're starting a new series called How Blind People Drive. It's gonna be a dope collection of stories from people with visual impairments, just like me. They'll be hilarious, they'll be scary, they'll be real. Before I get into my story, let me just change my glasses and stuff, man, because y'all know I can't see in the dark, man. The night blindness is real.
A few moments later.
Much better, man. So to kick things off, I'm going first. If you're new here, my name is Corey. The car I wish I could drive right now is a 1973 Mercedes-Benz SEL, a 280 SEL, because that was my grandfather's car. Then it turned into my dad's car. He called it Bluebird. That car just has a lot of incredible history in my family. Blue exterior, blue interior, and it's just a car that I have a lot of love and respect for. So I would definitely go for that. The eye condition I have is called choroideremia. It is pretty much progressive vision loss over time. I'm at about a little less than 10 degrees of visual field right now, and I am 35. This right here is one of the moments I knew I should stop driving, but I didn't. So here we go, y'all. For this particular story, I want to say it was either 2007, 2008. I must have been like 17. Like, I know I had my permit and I'm in the process of, okay, I'm gonna get my license, right? And at this moment, I'm with my dad. We are practicing my driving skills, and I needed a lot of work. And you know what? I should probably back up for a second. I think it's super important to know that, like, when I was 16, 17, I was super excited to not only get my permit, but to get my license. Like, that was something, everybody around me was doing. I was in the suburbs of New York, and this was a big deal. I was hyped like everybody else, right? Like, I'm at that age, right? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, going to the mall. When you're a teenager, what? Like, it's time to go have fun. It's time to experience that freedom for the first time. So on this particular day, this was before I had my license, and me and my dad decided to go get some practice, right? Because, I needed a lot of practice. Also, though, we had been practicing for a little while, right? This wasn't my first time. This was, I want to say I was at least maybe 5 practices in. So my excitement level for driving from the moment we first started driving to the moment I'm at on this particular day, it's dropped a little bit, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because I realized, this is not only is this harder than it looks and I thought it would be. It was hard. Like, in practice, I'm missing stuff, right? Like, whether it was a stop sign, whether it was red lights, or things that you need to be cautious of. Fortunately, my dad was in the passenger seat, and up until this day, if something's happening, he's calling it out before I necessarily get there, right? He's like, wait, stop. Oh, you see that? It's a red light. That's probably a terrible impression of my dad. But that's what I had in the passenger seat. So not only was it my eyes that I was relying on his too to tell me stuff, right? So me and my dad decided to get some practice on this day. And up until this moment, even though, like I said, like I'm not feeling all the way comfortable or not as excited as I was, I'm still doing all the motions of trying to get, my license because it's that age. And to be honest with you, my dad and my grandfather, they're on that top echelon of car guys. My grandfather collected cars, worked on cars as a business and a hobby, from what I understand, right? There's so many times where I would get back to my dad's house, or, like when when my dad was still around and stuff, he'd be watching like car shows on TV, just learning about different cars. He'd get a whole bunch of car magazines, listen to cars. Like he'd be on websites just looking up cars just out of interest, right? These guys love their cars. Me, I didn't really have that love of cars because I think it always scared me a bit, like just the feeling of it. Like I wanted to drive, I just never felt comfortable. So anyway, back to the story. You know what, before I keep going, do me a favor. If there's a car you wish you could drive right now, put it in the comments. I want to know what car it is. Also, if you've suffered vision loss and have a driving story, put it in the comments too. I want to make sure it's not just me out here. On this day, I remember, because I didn't really want to go practicing, right? Like, I'm still doing the motions, but I'm kind of not excited about it. So my dad was the one who was like, let's go. Like, your test is going to be coming up soon. We got to get better. You got to get better. Let's go. We got to go, right? I want to say it was in the morning, maybe like 10, 11 a.m. in the morning. And I want to say it was like spring, summertime too, right? So I think this is the day that he decided he was never getting in the car with me like that again until I got driving lessons from an instructor. So I'm just going to put that out there. And the fact that his son needed driving lessons from somebody else, damn, son, that tells you a lot, right? Actually, I wasn't sure if my sister had to do driver lessons too, but I might have ruined it for her too, because I felt like before this, my dad was completely comfortable teaching us how to drive, or teaching me how to drive. But when this day happened, I feel like it changed everything. So let's keep going. So we're driving. I feel like I'm doing okay. The thing is this, I would tell him things that were uncomfortable for me, right? Like, I didn't really see that stop sign right there, or I didn't really see that the light was changing, for example, or, oh, there's somebody there. Okay, like I would tell him little things, but because he was such a great driver and an amazing dad, right? Like he would give me the confidence to be like, nah, you got this. You just need to practice. Just go practice some more. That's all it is, right? And even though I felt weird, like I believed him, right? Like, oh, you know what? He's right. Everybody goes through this. And I did have friends who were driving. Shout out to my boy E. Shout out to Lamari. Even my boy Ryan. Like, I'd be in cars with my friends, and it's like, oh yeah, they're definitely getting a lot more practice than I am. They have their own cars, or they're just driving around more. So part of me did feel like, okay, maybe it is a practice thing. But in my like deepest, darkest like thoughts, right? I'm like, what if it's not? What if there's something going on with me? And because I kind of just didn't believe the diagnosis of, hey, you have a condition that is going to lead to you losing vision for your life. When you're a teen, you don't really believe that. So I was like, you know what? I will be fine. I'm going to keep practicing, even though it scared me. Here are the things that I knew that scared me the most, right? Parking lots. Like going into a parking lot, do you know how much things are terrifying in a parking lot? You gotta deal with other cars, right? Driving on like the road part. But then cars coming in and out of parking spaces. You got people walking in and out. Like all those things would stress me out, y'all. Changing lanes. Like by our house, where my parents live, it's like, there's a lot of 2-lane situations, sometimes even 3-lane situations. And changing lanes would scare the crap out of me. Like, I would be looking. My dad's like, you can go. Like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know. Because, first of all, it's not my car. I'm not trying to mess up somebody's car. But then also, it's like, I'm not trying to get hurt out here. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. So that scared me. Parking in general, especially like parallel parking. And I'll save the day of my driving test for my license for another day. But I was so happy that I didn't have to parallel park that day because that saved me. Well, sorry, I didn't have to parallel park with like in between cars, I should say. Even just the speed of cars on the road, like I used to always feel so uncomfortable. If there was a car behind me, I was uncomfortable. Like the speed of everything happening, I just felt weird about it, man. I felt sketchy. So that's all these feelings that I was kind of going through while wrestling with myself. Is like, am I just not being brave right now? I gotta go do this. I'm gonna do it, but I'm scared. I'm nervous, right? And by the way, this is only in the daytime. I would not dare step foot in a car to try to drive if it was anything less than ideal lighting, because that would be insane for me. I would not have done that. So on this day, he kind of decides to test me himself, right? Usually, like I said, he's calling things out. Hey, there's a stop sign there. There's a yield sign. There's this, there's that. On this day, he's trying to see where I am, what I'm seeing, what I'm responding to on the road. I felt like I was doing okay, but I know there was one or two moments that he was like, did you not see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it. That's the one thing, y'all. I was definitely being honest with him. Like, I'd be like, no, I didn't see that. He's like, how you didn't see that? And I'm like, I didn't see it. So when he say things like that, in my head, I'm like, I just gotta pay more attention, right? I gotta pay more attention. I gotta do the scanning. I'm scanning, as I'm driving. And it's like, why am I doing this when I've never seen anybody else do that? Look left, right, forward, left, right. Like, I'm looking like a robot out here. So I'm trying my best, man, to capture everything. And I felt like I hit a little groove, Like, I'm like, all right, we're going around. Nothing too major happens at this point. We started getting closer to our house because we went, I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes out. We did a loop and we're headed back to the house. So I'm very familiar, with these streets. So I thought, right? We go around this like car wash that's near my house, and I'm trying to see how I could describe this. I'm going toward, like, I'm driving straight. You can picture like some trees. Like I said, there's a car wash, some buildings, some houses. I'm going straight. I'm feeling confident, right? Like, okay, not much cars on the road. I'm good. I'm just driving straight. We're cruising. And then my dad goes, oh! He's like, pull over. So I'm like, what the hell's going on, right? Like, I'm like, all right, I'll pull over to the side of the house. He's like, did you see that? And I'm like, what? No, what happened? He's like, Corey, you just ran a stop sign and almost got us killed. So I'm like, what happened? Because in my head, I'm like, I thought I was fine, What I did was I ran a stop sign that led, that stops you from entering a pretty major road. So typically on this major road, cars are driving pretty fast, right? It's two-way street, double lines. Cars are driving fast on this road. I didn't know that. I just kept driving, and my dad, in his panic and while we're pulling over, I've never seen this man more scared, y'all. Like, he is like not freaking out, but he is scared. He told me, he was like, you just barely missed one of the cars that was crossing, right? Because like I'm going straight and there's a car pretty much going left and right? He's like, you just barely missed a car and there was another car coming and you didn't see that? And I literally was like, nah, I really didn't see that. So we're at the side of the road and he doesn't know what to say, right? He doesn't know what to say. What do you say to that? The truth is this too, is like, and I've said this in another video, but my dad took me to all my eye appointments, y'all. Like my mom, if I went to 10 eye appointments, my dad took me to probably 9, like 8, 9 of them, right? So my dad is hearing about my eyes from these doctors my whole life, essentially, right? So he, in the back of his mind, I know he knows like, okay, this is a possibility, but Similar to how I think a lot of us feel. And shout to the Discord fam. If you're not in our Discord, we have a good time, man. But a lot of us feel like, even when a doctor tells you, okay, you have this condition, and as you get older, you're gonna lose more and more vision. It's gonna lead to blindness. In your mind, you're like, bruh, get out of here. This doctor don't know me. I'm never going blind. I'm never losing vision. I'm good. He ain't talking to me. You feel like that when you're younger. And it's like, I definitely felt like that at that age. Because this is the same time when I first heard I was legally blind, y'all. You know, like being in high school, like sophomore, junior year. So all this is going on in my head. I see the panic in his face. I pull over. He tells me to turn off the car. We switch seats and then we drive home. And when I tell you that was the quietest drive home, I don't even think we had music on in the car that day. I just remember him being so scared. That sound he made, I was like, oh! I just felt like we were on an episode of Jacked Up back in the day on ESPN.
Keith Davis never had a chance to see him. Lord. Keith Davis got jacked up.
I'm about 99% sure that was the day he was like, nah, I'm not doing it no more. You're getting lessons. Because I didn't have driving lessons before that.
Wait, what? I have questions to ask. We should just take this in the office.
Let's do it.
So, wait. Did mom know about this, by the way?
My mom has no idea this story happened. I know my mom doesn't know about this. She's going to learn about this the first time, and I'm sure she's going to call me. Sorry, Mom.
So now that you say that, and I mean, I think you're even questioning yourself. Like, should I have kept driving? I mean, like, why did you get back in a car to drive again? Why did you do that after that?
I think it's almost good that I didn't see how dangerous of a situation it was. Does that make sense? Because, you know, I heard his reaction and I saw the panic in his face, but I didn't see how scary of a situation we were in.
That makes sense.
So I think that plays a role. I also feel like, I think I just want to be normal, man. And I want to feel normal.
I get that.
I wanted to feel like I could do the things that, you know, people around me are doing. I want to do things that people expect me to be able to do in a lot of ways. Like, not being able to drive, you know, it can feel crushing, yo. Like, I feel like it's one of my most, like, I don't know, softest spots in this whole thing. Because, you know, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my grandfather. I think all that played a part.
Yeah, like your dad probably obviously pushed you. He wanted you to drive too.
Yeah.
Because he was giving you encouragement, like, you can do it,
Yeah.
don't give up, right?
And it's all out of love too. Like,
All out of
you know
love.
what I'm saying? Like, I think, you know, like, the car was his safe space in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, he was interested in it, but, like, he always going to see people. Like, my dad, I feel like the biggest thing about him when he was still around was, like, my dad's always there. Like, we need him, he's there. Like, he driving there, and, you know, so
Exactly.
I just wanted to be like him in a lot of ways. I feel like, you know, a lot of that pushed me to keep trying.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, do you feel better that you tried it versus, I mean, I guess not even trying it at all, to be honest?
Is it better that I tried driving or not? I would say I would pass. I think my ego says, yeah, I'm happy I tried it. I'm happy I did it. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I should have not done that. I should not have driven. I should have, like, listened to, like, my heart, my stomach, my brain, like, the danger I obviously was putting myself in, my dad in, you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it. It's too much risk. And even just with this story, this is one story, but that's a lot of luck. Like,
Exactly.
I almost got hit by 2 cars in this story. And it's like, man, this is one story I have. So
What would you tell your younger self? Would you have started driving?
man.
Like, if you could go back and do that, it's like...
If I was to tell myself something before I started the whole driving journey, I think I needed to... I almost feel like I would tell myself, like, yo, the people who love you are still gonna love you. You're not gonna disappoint anybody. I think you're still strong. You're still a man. And you could still accomplish a lot, you know, without driving. So, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I think we just want to feel normal. We want to
Exactly.
feel, we just want to feel capable. But shout out to Uber. Shout out to you for driving.
Shout out to New York City subways
Yeah,
and
shout out
cabs.
Shout out to the city. A lot of ways to adapt to what we're going through. But hey,
Wow, babe.
you know what, y'all? I'm going to put my email in the description down below. If you want to share your story and maybe you want me to read it in a future video, please email me. I want us to do this together. I want us to hear each other's experiences and realize that we aren't alone and we are still dope. We're still incredible, even without driving. So, and you know, guys, as we share these stories, because this is obviously episode 1 of what I hope to be a long series, right? It's so important for us, especially if you're somebody like questioning yourself, or maybe you're a parent questioning your child, ask the questions, right? Because I know for me, as a teenager, I was in doctor's offices and I'm like, I'm fine, get me out of here. But if I was honest and really paying attention to myself versus like denying it and hiding it from myself, like I would have known I shouldn't be getting in the car, right, to try to drive. I would have known that, and my parents would have known that too, even though they knew. But that confirmation is everything. That confirmation, you know, could save lives, you know what I mean? So this is a reminder to all of us, the community, our supporters, our loved ones, all that. Take the time, ask a professional, be safe, value everything you got going on. Driving is not worth any of our lives, y'all. So let's do the right thing by us and everyone around us, all right? If you're looking for more ways to improve your life with low vision, blindness, anything above,